Welcome, dear soul, and thank you for being here with me tonight. Before we begin this gentle journey, I want you to know that you are safe, you are seen, and you are deeply appreciated. As you settle into your space, whether you are lying down or resting against the softness of your pillow, allow your body to loosen just a little. Allow your breath to soften as if it were a quiet breeze passing through a temple corridor. I invite you to stay with me until the end of this story, because tonight's journey is crafted with care woven with peace, compassion, and the timeless teachings of stillness. Every moment of this story has been created to help you let go of the day you have carried, to give your mind a place where it can finally rest. So breathe gently and allow yourself to sink deeper into the comfort around you. As you listen to my voice, imagine I am sitting with you at the edge of a quiet forest, just as the sky is turning deep blue. The air is cool, touched by the softness of the night. I can hear the faint sound of leaves brushing against one another, as if whispering old wisdom. There is a calmness here that feels ancient, as though the earth itself is taking a long, slow breath. I want you to share this moment with me, just you and the tender presence of stillness. Let your shoulders fall. Let the curve of your spine soften. Feel your jaw release. Notice how your breath moves in and out without needing to be controlled. Each breath is a gentle reminder that you are alive, that you have made it through another day, and that right now your only task is to rest. Sometimes we forget how heavy our thoughts become. We carry worries from morning until night, holding them tightly even when our hands are tired. But tonight, I'm asking you to loosen your grip. You don't need to solve anything now. You don't need to answer anything now. You don't need to be strong for anyone in this moment. This time belongs solely to your peace. As you stay with this story, I will guide you into a world that feels like a soft lantern glowing in the dark. A place where the noise of the world fades into the distance, leaving only the warmth of awareness. Let the boundaries between your body and the night blur a little. Let yourself melt into the softness beneath you. Peace is not something you chase. It is something that arrives when you stop running. Tonight, I speak to you not as a teacher, not as a storyteller, but as a companion walking beside you on a quiet path. I too have known nights when the mind refuses to rest, when thoughts flutter like restless birds in a bamboo grove. But I have also learned that peace comes when we give ourselves permission to slow down. When we surrender to stillness instead of fighting it. Listen to your breath. Feel it deepen. With every exhale, imagine a small weight leaving your body, a worry, a memory, a tension you no longer wish to hold. With every inhale, imagine drawing in the calm glow of the universe a steady and gentle light filling your chest with comfort. In this moment, nothing is required of you. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be productive. You do not need to be anything other than what you are, a soul deserving of rest. Let your eyes grow heavier. Let your heartbeat find a softer rhythm. Let your mind drift like a slow river beneath the moon. You are entering a space where compassion meets stillness, where every breath leads you closer to ease. Stay with me as the story unfolds. Stay with me as your mind untangles and your spirit softens. Stay with me until the end, and allow this night to cradle you the way the ancient monks once slept beneath the watchful silence of the mountains. You are ready. Take one more deep breath. Let the world outside fade, and allow the peaceful night to guide you inward, toward the quiet sanctuary waiting within you. As I sit here with you tonight, I want to share a simple truth I have learned over the years. The mind finds peace not by forcing silence, but by gently remembering its own nature. In the stillness of night, when the world becomes quiet, our thoughts often grow louder. They wander back to old memories, old worries, old fears, as if clinging to anything that will keep them awake. But the teachings I've gathered from the old masters, from ancient temples and wandering monks, remind me that the mind is like a small lamp flame. It flickers when winds blow, but when sheltered, it glows with steady warmth. Tonight, I want to share with you an experience that changed the way I understood peace. It is not a grand story, but a quiet one, yet sometimes the softest stories carry the deepest teachings. It begins years ago, when I was still learning how to listen to my own breath, how to sit still without feeling the rush of life pulling me in 100 directions. I had traveled to a small monastery surrounded by hills, where the monks lived simple lives, waking with the sun, resting with the moon, and meeting each moment with sincerity. One evening, after a long day of learning, meditation, and tending the gardens, I found myself unable to sleep. My mind kept circling around small things, finished conversations, tasks waiting for me far away from the monastery, and even tiny worries that, in daylight, would have seemed insignificant. At night, however, each thought felt heavier, as though the world expected answers from me before I could rest. Feeling restless, I stepped outside into the cool night. The sky was vast and dark, scattered with quiet stars. The air had a gentle chill that touched my skin like a soft reminder to breathe. I walked slowly toward the courtyard where an old monk, Master Rinzin, often spent his evenings. He was already there, sitting beneath an ancient Bodhi tree whose branches swayed lightly in the night breeze. The glow of a single lantern sat beside him, casting warm light across his face. He looked up as I approached, but he did not speak. He simply nodded, welcoming me into the quietness. I sat beside him, feeling the earth cool beneath me. For a while, we stayed silent. I thought he might offer advice, but instead, he closed his eyes and listened to the wind. I followed his breath carefully, noticing how steady it was, how each inhale dissolved into the night, and each exhale returned with softness at last. When the silence felt heavy enough to hold my unspoken thoughts, I told him that my mind would not settle. That even in this peaceful place, even under this quiet sky, my thoughts were loud and tangled. He listened without interrupting, and when I finished, he asked me a simple question. "Tell me," he said softly, "where do your thoughts rest when you do not chase them?" I didn't know how to answer. The question felt small, but carried a depth I didn't understand. I looked down at the ground, then back at the stars, and finally at the lantern beside him. The flame flickered, gently, never fighting the breeze, only swaying with it. Master Renzang smiled. "Your mind is doing what minds do," he said. "It is wandering. It is remembering. It is worrying. But peace does not come by forcing the mind to stop. Peace comes when you stop following the mind wherever it goes. Let your thoughts be like this flame, moving, shifting, alive, but not in control of you." He leaned closer to the lantern and whispered the next words so gently that I remember them even now. "The night is not against you. It is here to hold you. Let the darkness soften your thoughts, not sharpen them." He then asked me to close my eyes and listen, not to my breath, not to my thoughts, but to the space between sounds. At first, I heard only the wind, the distant hum of insects, the rustle of a leaf falling. But then I began to hear something deeper, the silence that wrapped around all things, the quiet presence that had always been there, but rarely noticed. Master Rinzan said, "Do you hear that? The silence is where the mind returns when it grows tired. It is the home of peace. When your thoughts are loud, look for the space between them. Rest there." I took a slow breath and tried to sit within that space. My thoughts still came one after another, but for the first time, I watched them instead of joining them. I didn't walk with them. I didn't argue with them. I didn't judge them. I let them rise like bubbles in water and let them pop on their own. Gradually, the pressure I felt in my chest loosened. The thoughts did not disappear, but they lost their weight. They floated around me without clinging to me. The old monk opened his eyes and looked at me. "Peace is not the absence of thought," he said. "It is the gentle return to the present moment, again and again, without punishment, without frustration." He placed his hand on the ground beside him and added, "This earth has held millions of restless minds. It is not troubled by your worries. Let the ground hold some of them for you tonight." I placed my palm on the cool earth, and for a moment, I felt as though the world beneath me was breathing with me. There was a warmth not physical, but something like reassurance rising through the soil. My heart slowed. My mind softened. The breeze felt kinder. The night felt like a friend. The old monk lit another lantern and placed it gently in front of me. "If your thoughts wander again," he said, "follow the light, not the noise. A single flame is enough to guide even the most restless mind." That night, I returned to my room, carrying the lantern with me. I placed it beside my bed, watching the flame dance softly. I let its glow fill the room and fill my mind. I lay down with the same breath I had learned beside the Bodhi tree, breathing gently, without expectation. And slowly, my thoughts dissolved into waves of quietness, until sleep arrived like a calm river flowing through me. Tonight, I share this story with you because I want your mind to experience the same softness. You do not need to silence your thoughts. You do not need to resist anything that rises within you. Simply notice, watch, allow. Let the night hold your worries the way the earth held mine. Let the space between thoughts be a doorway to peace. As you listen to my voice now, imagine that lantern glowing beside you. Imagine its gentle light warming the darkness around you. Imagine that each breath you take helps the flame grow steadier. Your mind, too, can become steady not by force, but by surrender. Let the night wrap around you the way it wrapped around me in that monastery courtyard. Let the quiet teachings of stillness enter your heart without effort. Let your thoughts float like leaves on a slow-moving pond. There is nothing to fix, nothing to achieve, nothing to chase. Tonight, your only task is to rest in awareness, to trust that peace will come as naturally as the moon rises above the hills. You are not alone. I am here with you, walking softly through the silence, carrying a lantern to light the way back to calmness. Stay with me and allow the night to gently soothe your mind. Peace is already arriving. I still remember the night I began the journey that changed the way I understood calmness. It was a night when the moon hung low over the mountains, glowing like a quiet blessing from the sky. I had decided to walk beyond the monastery grounds, following a narrow path that wound its way through bamboo groves and into the forest beyond. Something inside me felt drawn, as if the night itself was calling me to step deeper into its silence. I carried only a small lantern, its warm light forming a little circle around my feet as I walked. The forest was alive with gentle sounds, but nothing felt threatening. Instead, every sound felt like a whisper guiding me forward, the soft hum of insects. Each sound was part of the night's breath. The deeper I walked, the more I felt that the forest was not separate from me. Its stillness entered me with every step as I walked. I thought about how often we move through life without truly seeing where we are. We rush, we hurry, we chase. But tonight, every step felt intentional. Every sound felt connected to my heartbeat. The lantern swung gently in my hand, casting golden shapes onto the trees. And soon, the path curved until it opened into a wide clearing I had never seen before. In the center of the clearing stood a small hut made of old wood and stones, hardly more than a shelter. Its roof sagged a little, covered in moss and vines. A soft plume of smoke rose from a chimney, disappearing as it blended with the night sky. The place felt ancient, like something forgotten by the world, but remembered by the wind. I stepped closer, unsure who lived there, if anyone at all. But as I drew near, I saw a faint movement beside the door's shadow, shifting. A quiet voice spoke before I could say anything. You walk with the night, not against it. That's why I heard you coming long before you arrived. The door creaked open and an elderly man stepped out. His face was lined with age, but softened by kindness. His robe was simple, worn from years of use. He held a wooden cup of tea in his hand, the steam rising gently. His eyes, though clouded slightly with age, held a clarity that felt deeper than sight. He looked at me as if he had known me for years. You carry many thoughts tonight, he said softly. Come and sit. The forest is kinder when we share its silence. I followed him inside. The hut was small but warm, lit by a single oil lamp hanging from a wooden beam. A kettle simmered on a clay stove. There were no decorations, only shelves filled with herbs, scrolls, and small wooden carvings. The air smelled of cedar and earth, like the scent of old wisdom. He poured me tea without asking if I wanted any. The warmth of the cup felt soothing in my hands. I sat on a cushion opposite him, watching the way he breathed slow, steady, unhurried. Time seemed to move differently around him. Even the flicker of the lamp felt slower. For a moment, we simply sat in silence, sipping tea. He seemed to be studying my breath, my posture, the energy I carried into the room. Finally, he spoke. Long ago, he said, I too wandered these woods with a restless mind. Thoughts clung to me like vines, tightening around my heart. I could not sleep. I could not breathe freely. But one night, I met a teacher who taught me how to rest not just the body, but the spirit. He leaned back, letting the steam from the tea brush his face. Would you like to hear that story? I nodded, sensing that whatever he was about to share would become part of my journey. He closed his eyes and began. I was young when I came to these mountains. My master had sent me here, telling me I would learn more from the trees than from any book. I did not understand what he meant. For days, I wandered aimlessly, searching for meaning, for answers, for something extraordinary to happen. But the forest said nothing to me. It only watched. One evening, he continued, a storm rolled in. The wind blew fiercely, bending the trees until they nearly touched the earth. Rain fell like sheets of silver. The young wanderer took shelter under a large Bodhi tree, feeling small and scared. In the storm, he said, my thoughts became louder. I feared everything, the darkness, the thunder, even my own heartbeat. I believed the storm was against me. But then, through the noise, I noticed the tree. The tree was unmoving. Though the wind shook its branches, its trunk remained firm, grounded deeply in the earth. Rain washed over it, but it did not resist. It simply accepted everything without fear. That tree taught me more than any master could, the old man said. It showed me that peace comes from rooting yourself in the present, not fighting the storms of the mind. He paused, letting the quiet settle again. As he spoke, my own breath slowed. I placed my cup on the floor and listened more deeply, feeling the weight of his words settle into me. I tried to be like that tree, he continued. I let the storm rage. I let the wind howl. I allowed the fear to rise within me, but I did not run from it. And slowly, the fear loosened. The storm did not shrink, but my attachment to it did. He opened his eyes and looked directly into mine. You are here tonight because you too are learning how to stand like that tree. This forest has brought you to me, not by accident, but by invitation. His words felt strangely familiar, as if they echoed something my heart already knew but had forgotten. He rose from his cushion, took a small wooden box from a shelf, and placed it between us. When he opened it, I saw a smooth stone inside deep green, polished by years of touch. Take this with you, he said. It is not magic. It is simply a reminder. When your thoughts grow restless, hold it gently. Feel its weight. Let it bring you back into your body, into this moment. I took the stone. It was cool at first, then warmed slowly in my hand. I felt something inside me soften, like a knot loosening. The old man smiled. Tonight, you will walk deeper into the forest. There's a lake not far from here. When you reach it, you will understand something about yourself that no one else can teach you. I wasn't sure what he meant, but I trusted him. After finishing my tea, I stepped outside again. The night was still, the moon rising higher. The path continued beyond his hut, leading into deeper darkness. I turned to thank him, but the hut already looked older, quieter, as if it belonged to the night more than to him. With the stone in my hand, I continued walking. The air grew cooler, but the silence warmed around me. It felt like I was walking into a dream, not one created by sleep, but one created by quiet awareness. As I moved forward, I began to notice things I had not seen before. Small fireflies hovered near the bushes, their lights blinking like tiny stars dancing close to the earth. The trees stood tall and still, their shadows stretching across the ground like long, gentle arms. And the path beneath my feet felt softer, as if it had been walked by many before me. I walked for what felt like a long time. Though it could have been minutes or hours, time had softened, blending into the rhythm of my steps. Eventually, the forest opened up again into a large clearing. And there before me was the lake the old man had spoken of. The lake was still, perfectly still, as if it were a giant mirror laid gently upon the earth. The moon reflected in its surface, glowing like a pearl floating in water. The stars shimmered, their reflections scattered across the lake like tiny pieces of light. I sat at the water's edge, holding the stone in my hand. The silence here was deeper, richer. It was not empty. It was full of something I could not name. I leaned over and looked at my reflection in the water. For the first time in a long while, I saw myself clearly, not as someone trying to be enough, not as someone fighting thoughts, but simply as a human being resting in the night's embrace. The old man's words echoed in my heart. When you stop running from your thoughts stop running from you. The lake showed me my own stillness. The forest held me like a quiet friend, and the night, so gentle, so soft, wrapped around me like a blanket. I closed my eyes, breathed deeply, and felt a peace settling into me that I had never known before. The journey had just begun, but already the forest had shown me that rest was not somewhere far away. It was here, in this moment, waiting patiently for me to return to it. The stillness of the lake stayed with me long after I opened my eyes again. That mirror-like water seemed to have absorbed every restless thought inside me, leaving my mind light and open, as if something had quietly unlocked within my chest. I sat there for a while longer, simply breathing, feeling the cool air brushing against my skin like soft, invisible hands guiding me toward a deeper peace. But the night had more to show me. I could sense it. The forest felt alive, not in a loud or intimidating way, but in the way a wise teacher is alive, silent, aware, waiting for the right moment to reveal something profound. I held the smooth green stone the old man had given me, running my thumb slowly across its surface. It had warmed completely now, pulsing with a gentle heat that made me feel grounded, steady, connected to the earth beneath me as I rose. The moonlight shimmered on the lake like a pathway made of silver. And then, from the corner of my eye, I noticed a faint glow deeper inside the forest. It wasn't the cold light of moon or stars. It was warmer, softer, pulsing gently like a heartbeat in the dark. I felt a quiet pull toward it, as though something inside me recognized the light even before my mind could form a thought about it. With slow steps, I followed that glow. The forest grew denser as I moved forward. The trees leaned closer together, their branches forming a canopy that filtered the moonlight into delicate patterns across the path. But the glowing light ahead remained clear and steady, guiding me deeper and deeper into what felt like the very soul of the woods. The path curved gently, and soon I reached a place unlike anything I had seen before. It was another clearing, but smaller than the one with the lake, and in the center of it stood a tree, enormous, ancient, rising toward the sky with a presence so peaceful and powerful that I felt my breath catch in my throat. Its leaves shimmered with a faint golden glow, as if they were holding pieces of sunlight even in the middle of the night. Its branches stretched out like long arms, offering shelter to anyone who approached. I stepped closer, drawn by a quiet pull I could not understand. The moment my foot touched the ground beneath the tree, a warm breeze rose around me. Not a breeze from the wind, but a breeze from the tree itself, as if it had exhaled gently in greeting. I whispered without meaning to, "Are you alive?" The thought felt strange, yet the sensation around me made the question natural. The tree felt alive, not just as a living organism, but alive with an awareness that wrapped around me like a soft blanket. Then, I heard something. It wasn't a voice in the way we normally hear voices. It was more like a vibration inside my chest, a ripple of understanding that formed words without sound. "You have walked far," the presence said, "but deeper rest awaits you." I closed my eyes, letting the message settle into me like water soaking into dry soil. When I opened them, something astonishing happened. The golden glow of the tree grew brighter, and tiny orbs of light began drifting down from its branches, floating toward me like gentle fireflies. Each orb carried warmth, not heat, but a soft, comforting warmth that felt like compassion made visible. One orb drifted closer until it hovered right in front of me. I reached out instinctively, and it landed gently in my palm. The instant it touched my skin, my mind quieted even more. Thoughts dissolved. Tension melted. I felt myself sinking into a deeper state of awareness, almost dreamlike. The tree's presence filled my mind once more. Follow the light within what you hold. I looked at the orb in my hand. Its glow shifted, swirling in slow spirals, and then, without warning, it began drifting away, not upward, not outward, but downward. The ground beneath the orb shimmered faintly, like a veil lifting. I knelt down, watching as the orb sank through the earth as if passing through water. No sound, no disruption, just a gentle descent into something deeper without thinking. I placed my hand where the orb had disappeared. Instantly, warmth spread through my palm, up my arm, and into my heart. The earth softened, and then, like a door opening, a circle of light appeared on the ground, wide enough for me to step through. I took a breath, not a breath of hesitation, but a breath of surrender, of trust. Then I stepped into the light. For a moment, everything was weightless. I felt suspended, floating, drifting between worlds. There was no ground beneath me, no air around me, no sound or thought, only warmth, only peace. Then my feet touched ground again. I found myself standing in a space that felt both indoors and outdoors at the same time. The sky above me was filled with stars, millions of them, but they were closer, brighter, as if I had stepped into a sky. The ground was soft, covered in moss that glowed with a pale blue light. A gentle mist floated across the air, warm and fragrant, smelling faintly of jasmine and night rain. In the center of this glowing landscape stood a stone pathway that wound gently toward a small pavilion made of bamboo and silk. The pavilion glimmered like something woven from moonlight. Lanterns hung from its corners, each one glowing with a different color: gold, blue, green, lavender. Their lights flickered softly, dancing in patterns that reminded me of breathing. I walked toward the pavilion in a slow, dreamlike gaze, each step sinking slightly into the soft moss beneath me. The air felt alive, here filled with an energy I had never felt before. Like the entire place breathed in harmony with my heartbeat. As I approached, I saw someone seated inside the pavilion. It was a monk, young, serene, his eyes closed in deep meditation. But the moment I stepped under the pavilion's roof, his eyes opened, and he looked at me with a calmness so vast that I felt every remaining tension inside me dissolve instantly. "I knew you would arrive," he said, his voice as gentle as ripples in still water. "This place appears only to those who are ready to rest more deeply than they ever have." I didn't know what to say. I simply stood there, breathing quietly. He motioned for me to sit across from him. I did. The cushion beneath me felt impossibly soft, supporting me as though it understood exactly where my tiredness lived. "You came here carrying thoughts," he said. "Even now, they cling to you like thin threads. But you do not need to cut them. You only need to see them." He reached into a small bowl and pulled out another glowing ore, brighter than the one the tree had given me. He held it between us, letting its light illuminate our faces. "This is not magic," he said softly. "It is reflection. It will show you what your mind is holding. The orb began to shift, swirling into shapes, colors, and fragments of memory. I saw images from my life moments I had forgotten, moments I had tried to forget, and moments I didn't know still lived inside me. Some were peaceful, some were painful, some were quiet, some were loud. But the monk placed his hand gently on my arm and said, "Do not enter them, only observe." So I watched. I saw my worries, my regrets, my fears. I saw the small things that had weighed heavily on me, the tiny anxieties that had grown into storms. And yet, watching them from here inside this quiet, glowing pavilion, they no longer felt overwhelming. They felt like stories. Stories that had played out, stories that had passed. The monk whispered, "You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that sees them." And for the first time in my life, I truly understood those words. The orb dimmed until it finally dissolved into a soft wisp of smoke. The monk looked at me with compassion that felt like a warm embrace. "Now," he said, "you are ready to walk deeper." He stood and extended his hand. When I placed my hand in his, the world around us shifted again, not violently, not suddenly, but like a dream moving into its next chapter. The pavilion, the glowing moss, the mistal began to blur, fading into soft white light. The monk's voice echoed gently, "Follow the path of breath. It leads you home." And then everything fell silent. I felt my body lighten as though the earth beneath me had turned into clouds. The air wrapped around me like a warm blanket. I drifted effortlessly through the silence, without weight, without thought, carried by something larger than myself. The deep journey had only just begun, and already I felt myself moving toward a place where dreams and awareness blended into one peaceful flow. A place beyond worry, beyond memory, beyond the noise of waking life. A place where the night itself teaches the heart how to rest. I closed my eyes for a moment and let the soft darkness settle around me like a familiar friend. I breathe in gently, letting the cool night air fill my lungs, and as I exhale, I feel a subtle release ripple through my shoulders. I invite you to do the same. Slowly, gently, without any force or expectation, just let your breath soften. Let it become natural, effortless, like a quiet stream moving through the forest. In this moment, there is nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, nothing to achieve, nothing to fix. There is only the stillness of now, wrapping itself around us like a warm blanket. I breathe again, deeper this time, and I imagine the breath entering my body as a soft golden mist. It flows in through my nose, travels down into my chest and expands gently. Releasing tension I did not even realize I was holding. As I exhale, I imagine the mist carrying away everything heavy, every worry, every noise, every burden I picked up throughout the day. I watch them fade like morning fog, disappearing into sunlight. You can release yours too. With every breath out, feel yourself becoming lighter, softer, more at peace. I rest my hands loosely beside me, and I feel the gentle weight of my body sinking a little deeper into where I sit or lie. The ground is supporting me. The earth is holding me without judgment, without expectation. I am safe. You are safe. We are held. I inhale again, slowly, and I notice how my breath feels slightly smoother now, as if my lungs themselves are relaxing, enjoying the chance to rest. A quiet warmth begins to spread through my chest. The kind of warmth that comes when the mind finally stops running and starts listening. I let that warmth expand, moving through my ribs, down my spine, and into my belly. Every muscle in my stomach softens, as if untying a knot that has been there for days. I feel the relief ripple outward, flowing into my back, slowly loosening the tightness that has lived between my shoulder blades for far too long. The warmth travels down into my lower back, soothing it with each slow breath I take. I sense my heartbeat becoming slower, calmer, more rhythmic. It beats like a distant drum in an ancient temple, steady, grounded, full of peace. With every beat, I feel myself drifting further into tranquility. The thoughts in my mind, which earlier felt like scattered leaves blowing in the wind, begin to settle one by one. They float down gently, resting on the soft ground of my awareness, no longer pushing, no longer shouting, just resting. I allow them to be there without judgment, without resistance, knowing they will all fade in time. I breathe in again, and this time I guide the golden mist toward my legs. I feel it pass through my hips, softening them, releasing the silent tension I carry there from days spent worrying, planning, trying. It flows into my thighs, loosening each muscle, melting the heaviness stored within. My legs feel warm now, heavy in the most comforting way, like they are sinking into clouds. My knees soften, my calves loosen, and even the small muscles around my ankles begin to relax, one by one, effortlessly. My feet feel warm, heavy, peaceful. The relaxation reaches all the way to the tips of my toes. With one long breath, I release everything that was once weighing me down. I sit with this feeling for a moment, this sense of being whole, supported, safe. The night around me feels gentle, protective, like an old friend watching over me. I breathe again, and the air feels softer now, as if the entire atmosphere has shifted into kindness. I feel myself drifting just a little deeper into this state of peace, somewhere in the quiet of my mind. I begin to visualize a small lantern glowing softly. The flame is steady, peaceful, golden. It flickers gently, but never struggles. It shines without force, without fear. This lantern represents my inner light, the calmness that never truly leaves me, even when the world feels heavy. I watch the flame, steady and serene, and I feel myself drawn toward it with each breath in. The lantern glows brighter. With each breath out, the world around it becomes quieter. I imagine myself walking toward it slowly, barefoot on a soft forest floor. Each step I take feels lighter than the last. The trees around me remain still, watching with silent compassion. The moonlight filters through the branches above, painting the path with silver. The leaves beneath me whisper words of comfort, telling me I am safe, I am guided, I am protected. I continue walking until I reach the lantern. I pick it up gently with both hands and hold it close to my heart. The warmth seeps into my chest, spreading like a gentle fire through my entire being. This warmth is peace. This warmth is healing. This warmth is rest. I breathe slowly, feeling the warmth expanding, smoothing the edges of every thought still lingering in my mind. My eyelids feel heavier now, as if they have absorbed the peaceful glow of the lantern. My breathing becomes slower, deeper, rhythmic, the natural breath of someone who is finally ready to sleep. I allow myself to sink deeper into this moment, deeper into the softness that surrounds me. Then I imagine sitting under a Bodhi tree, the same kind of tree under which the Buddha found enlightenment. The ground beneath me feels cool and steady. The tree above me stands tall, strong, wise. Its branches stretch out like open arms, offering shade, offering protection, offering ancient peace. I sit beneath it, lantern still glowing in my hands, and I feel a profound stillness wash over me. A stillness that feels like sacred silence. I breathe again, and I imagine the tree breathing with me, rising gently as I inhale, settling softly as I exhale. We breathe together, perfectly in sync. And in this shared rhythm, something inside me begins to let go. Every fear I carry today dissolves into the earth. Every worry I held tight melts like snow in the sun. Every sadness softens, becoming lighter, floating away like petals in the wind. The tree whispers in the quiet language of nature, telling me that everything is temporary. The stress, the noise, the tension, the racing thoughts, all of it rises and falls like waves in the ocean. And just as the waves always return to stillness, my mind is returning to its natural state of peace. I place the lantern gently beside me, letting its glow blend with the moonlight. I close my eyes slowly, not with effort, but with ease, like a flower closing at night. My breathing is soft, slow, safe. I feel myself drifting, not falling, but floating, as if carried by the night itself. The world grows quieter still. The air feels softer. My body feels heavier. My mind feels lighter. And in this perfect balance, I feel sleep approaching, gentle, warm, peaceful. I whisper to myself, barely audibly, a simple truth: I deserve rest. I deserve peace. I am safe. The words echo softly in my mind, sinking deeper, becoming part of me. I let them settle. I let them soothe me. I let them guide me toward the restful night, waiting just beyond the last few breaths of WAKFULNESS. My breath slows again. My body becomes weightless. My thoughts dissolve completely. I drift slowly, beautifully, into the deep river of sleep. And as I slip into that peaceful darkness, it feels like the universe itself is holding me in its arms, whispering over and over, "Rest now. You are safe. You are at peace." And with one final soft exhale, I let myself go, fully, completely, into sleep as I slowly return to the quiet rhythm of my breath. I feel the gentle stillness of this night surrounding me like a soft embrace. The journey we shared has settled into a deep, calm silence inside my heart. I can sense the peaceful energy lingering in the air, warm and comforting, as if the universe itself is whispering blessings over this moment. I let my breath flow naturally, without effort, and I feel a quiet gratitude rising from within. Gratitude for the time, the space, and the serenity we shared together. The softness of this night wraps around me like a warm blanket, and I allow myself to simply be. No pressure, no weight, no thoughts that need answers. Just the gentle presence of peace resting gently on my mind and body. I take another slow breath, and I notice how much lighter everything feels now. The body softer, the mind clearer, the heart calmer. If you are already drifting toward sleep, allow yourself to go even deeper. There is no rush, no need to wake yourself up. Let the peaceful energy guide you gently into rest. You are safe. You are protected. The night is holding you with kindness. And if you are still awake, resting quietly on the edge of sleep, feel free to stay in this soft silence for as long as you need. There is no place you must go, no task waiting for you. Only this space, this gentle, sacred space, created for your peace and healing. I take one more slow breath and feel the quiet energy of compassion filling my chest. I send that compassion outward, toward you, like a warm, golden ripple. May your night be protected. May your dreams be calm. May your heart stay light and open. And may tomorrow greet you with clarity, strength, and peace before the night fully takes you into sleep. I want to gently thank you for being here, for allowing me to guide you, and for choosing this moment of rest for your mind and soul. You chose peace, even if the world around you was loud. You chose calm, even when life felt uncertain. That choice is powerful. That choice is healing. Let that understanding stay with you. The knowledge that you can return to peace anytime you wish. It's always within you, always waiting, always ready to rise when you breathe softly and turn inward. I remind myself gently, and I remind you, too. You deserve rest. You deserve healing. You deserve nights like this, soft, quiet, safe.
As the final moments of this journey settle into the stillness of the night, I let my voice fade just a little softer, like a candle dimming into a warm glow. If your eyes are still open, allow them to close slowly now. If they are already closed, let them soften even more. The world outside can wait. Right now there is only peace, only calm, only this gentle silence. I take one final breath with you, slow, deep, peaceful, and let the air release from my lungs like a quiet sigh of relief. Feel your whole body melting into the comfort beneath you, safe and at rest. Thank you for spending this time with me tonight. May your sleep be deep. May your dreams be light. And may you wake tomorrow renewed, restored, and surrounded by peace. Good night, dear soul. Rest well, rest deeply, and let the quiet embrace of this night carry you gently into the world of dreams.